Gosh, I am so glad it's finally starting to heat up outside.
Me too. It's perfect weather to jump in the pool.
Well, we'll be doing that today because women's water polo is making a splash in the national rankings.
Sports Scene starts now.
Happy Wednesday and welcome to Sports Scene. I'm Olivia Sandusky.
And I'm Sarah McGrew. USC women's water polo has certainly been making waves over the last few weeks.
And they've got a big matchup against crosstown rival UCLA this weekend.
But first, let's take a look back. Last Friday, the Trojans took down top-ranked Stanford 8-5, and on Saturday, they had a dominating 12-1 victory over San Jose State.
That's also coming off a win the weekend before against a top 5 Cal team.
Yeah, you know what? This team is really on fire. I've been impressed by the depth of the scorers, and it seems like a different player is leading the team each week. What stands out to you about this team, Olivia?
Sarah, I've been really impressed with goalie Amanda Longan. She's all over the net. Against Stanford, she had 16 saves, and the week before that, she had 15 against Cal.
Calm for the rest of the team.
And we caught up with Amanda yesterday to talk about the win over Stanford.
To beat them with the players they have and at their home pool is always a great feeling against any team you play. But because they were the only loss we had to kind of avenge this season so far, that was huge for us. And I think to play them as well as we did and to play with no fear, that was huge for our team.
Offensively, the Trojans are also killing it. With multiple scorers in each game, it's hard for other teams to nail down just who they should be defending.
Over the weekend, that was definitely the case. Haley McKelvey put away 3 goals in the Stanford game, and against San Jose State, it was Brianna DeBow who scored 3 as well. We spoke to DeBow about the upcoming UCLA game.
For us, it's just play our game. We got to come as prepared as possible, and we'll spend all week preparing for them. But I think it always comes down to who wants it more, and we have a team that's incredibly competitive and has a lot of fun when it plays together. So, I really look forward to it.
And now Sarah is joined in studio by one of the senior water polo players. Sarah?
Thanks, Olivia. I'm here with water polo senior utility Haley McKelvey. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
First of all, congratulations on your 2 wins over the weekend, especially taking down #1 Stanford. What was it like to get that win after losing to them earlier in the season?
It was really great, a lot of fun. Just to go out there and play our game versus how we played them the last time. Yeah.
And then on Saturday against San Jose State, you scored your 100th career goal. What was that like?
It was great. It was a good feeling. Couldn't have done it without my teammates and their support. Yeah.
So you guys have just 1 loss this season, like I said, coming to Stanford earlier in the year. Is there a lot of pressure on the team to keep such a great record?
I wouldn't say so. It's really just about looking forward to our end goal, which is to win national championships at home, really, and just to look forward to our MPSF play this next couple weeks and our game against UCLA and take it one step at a time.
And kind of continuing with looking forward, with those 2 tournaments coming up, is there anything in particular that you guys are doing now to prepare for tournament play?
It's really just looking at our own strengths and weaknesses as well as the other teams, especially UCLA coming up this weekend, and just focusing on those weaknesses and improving every day.
Right. And have you guys been watching film for UCLA? Is there anything in particular that you guys are doing to prepare for them?
Yeah, we're always watching film on ourselves and other teams. Definitely working on our defense right now and just playing hard.
This weekend, it's not only the crosstown rival, but it's also senior day, so it's a big day for you. When you look back over your career here at USC, what are some of the highlights?
Definitely winning national championships in 2016 at UCLA was definitely the highlight.
I can't imagine what that was like because you won the national championship and you did it at your rival's home, so that's incredible. What's next for you after you finish your career as a Trojan?
To play with the Canadian national team this summer and hopefully continuing on for 2020 Olympics.
Awesome. I'll be cheering for Canada if that's the case in 2020. Thanks again for being here with us. I really appreciate it, and good luck for your last game.
Thank you.
You can catch Haley and the rest of the women's water polo team at home on Saturday as they take on UCLA at 7 p.m. Now let's check back in with Olivia for a baseball update.
Okay, thanks, Sarah. I'm here with Anthony Chiardelli and Stu Gill. Are you guys ready to talk some baseball?
Let's play ball.
Always.
All right, well, this is agree or disagree, so you have your cards here. You can hold up either one after I read my statement, and you'll have 25 seconds to describe your choice. So first up, Chase Bouchard is the key to the Trojans' offense. What do we have here? 2 disagrees. Stu, why don't you tell us why you picked that?
Well, Bouchard's been terrific. He has 31 hits on the season, and you have to acknowledge that. But I think that in baseball especially, being called an offensive key is really reserved for those elite players. Think David Ortiz in Boston or Albert Pujols in St. Louis. And I don't think with 1 home run on the year that Bouchard has proved that he is that guy. What I would say, though, is he's a defensive key player, only making 1 error on the season thus far.
I also disagree. Stu's right. Chase Bouchard has been having a great season so far. He's hitting up above 300 at the top of the lineup. But it comes down to the middle of the lineup hitters to drive in those runs and really score USC a lot of runs. That's Lars Nootbaar and Jordan Paulson.
That is the buzzer.
Looks like you are out of time, Anthony. Good try, though. All right, high standards from you two. Let's move on to the second statement. We have the USC will win the series against UCLA.
Another strong one.
Wow, 2 disagrees again. Get some negative boys up here. Anthony,
Hey.
why don't you start us off this time? See if you can keep it within the 25.
Oh, unfortunately, I don't think USC is going to be able to take 2 games against UCLA this weekend. Last time they played, their starting pitcher, John Olsen, got hit. UCLA starting pitcher got hit in the face of the line drive, got knocked out of the game, and they kind of were forced to patch together their pitching staff. On top of that, UCLA's gone 12-5 since that game, and their pitching staff is the lowest team ERA in the Pac-12. So I don't think they're going to be able to win 2.
Surprised there was no buzzer on that one.
Stu, what do you
Yeah, I
think?
disagree as well. UCLA is there. It is. UCLA has been dominating this year. They're 11-4 in the Pac-12, and they also own 2 notable wins over a Stanford team that not only beat USC, they crushed their will by racking up 34 runs over 3 games up in Palo Alto. While USC did earn that victory with the pitching complications, I do not see them going to UCLA and picking up 2 out of 3.
Okay, so we don't see them winning the series against UCLA. Do we see USC finishing above 600 this season?
Switching things up.
Oh my goodness, look at that. We have our first agree on the board. Stu, why don't you start us off?
Yeah, I think USC is going to surprise some people. They have to win 16 games out of their next 22 in order to do that, but I believe in those guys. After the blowout losses to Stanford, the bats have picked up a little bit. Nootbaar's recorded 12 hits in just 12 games, and then how about Chase Bouchard with 14 over that same stretch?
I disagree just because that pace is going to be very difficult to maintain. I think winning 16 out of their next 22 games is going to be hard considering the trend of this past season. On top of that, they're facing some hard competition. They're facing Cal, they're facing Oregon State and UCLA. That's 9 games against really tough teams. So unfortunately, I don't think they're going to make 600.
All right, keeping that in mind and with who they have left in the Pac-12 play, do we see USC making the NCAA tournament? Wow, look at this again. Stu, the optimism here. I love it. What do
Somebody's
you
got to have some. I'll stick with our guys again and say they'll pull off some big wins down the stretch to do that. Even if they don't finish up at 60%, we already own quality wins over Long Beach State, UCLA, and Cal State Fullerton. We have a couple of matchups with UCLA and Long Beach State coming up again, and then also a big series with Oregon State, who's one of the top-ranked teams in the country. If we can pull out just a few wins against those teams, we'll prove that we belong in the postseason.
Yeah, I hate to be the negative Nancy again, but unfortunately, I don't think they're going to qualify for the NCAA tournament. They either have to win the Pac-12, which they're really not in position to do right now, or get an at-large bid. Usually there's 2 to 4 of them. They're currently in the bottom half of the Pac-12 standings, and considering the competition they have to face, I don't think it's likely. If they do go on a run and really beat some of those good teams, I think there's a chance, but I think you got to wait for next season. Next season, I think they're really going to have a breakout year with a lot of young players coming of age. They still have their core players, so I think it's looking good for next season, not this season.
Wow, made it
Go
again.
Bucks.
That's amazing. A couple of seconds there. Well, I think Coach Hubbs would definitely like to agree with Stu a little bit more than anything after this
Yeah, I'm going to be
session.
riding the bench after
Yeah.
this one, if I played.
But thank you for your thoughts. And we have Sarah and Nick now for an update on women's tennis.
Thanks, Olivia. Now I'm joined by Nick Hoffman for an update on USC women's tennis. With the season winding down, what can we expect from the women of Troy for the rest of the year?
Well, this week they're playing against UCLA, 14th ranked UCLA, which will be a tough matchup, but it is a rivalry game, so an upset could be on the cards. Following this matchup, USC will begin Pac-12 play in Ojai with the season-ending tournament, and they will look to end this season on a high note.
Working on the technical aspects under pressure, I think that's what we need so we can execute when we're competing. UCLA SC is a huge rivalry match, and we're a little bit of the underdogs, and I actually love going into a big rivalry match like that. Anything can happen, and I think our girls are really motivated to get after it.
Now looking forward to next season, Coach Swain is bringing in some good-looking recruits. What do we know about them so far, Nick?
Well, we have a promising crop of recruits coming in this year with 3 players. First, Estella Jaeger, a former junior #1 from Germany, and she has some experience actually on the pro ITF circuit. She will be joined by Danielle Wilson, a SoCal native from Newport Beach, who has had a lot of success for Corona Del Mar in high school, winning the individual and team championships for CIF. The third recruit is Alyssa Mayo from Naples, Florida. She's had most of her success as a doubles player and has actually won a couple junior ITF events. These 3 players will be coming in the fall and will look to contribute immediately.
Well, it sounds like the team will only continue to grow. Thank you so much for that update. Now moving to the men's side of the court, one men's tennis player got a very special visit from his family last week. Annenberg Media's Julia Adams has the story.
Similar to many student athletes, USC men's tennis player Lawrence Verboven only gets to go home once a year. But home for him is over 5,000 miles away in a small town called Overpelt, Belgium. Verboven's parents, Stefan and Sylvia, and his younger brother Maxime have never been to the United States, but for the first time last week, they made the long trip out to watch him play.
It has obviously been a while since they have seen me play. I think it's been since last summer. The last time I've played in Belgium. I really wanted to show them how much I've improved and what this whole college experience is about.
Verboven's family is used to having him away from home. When he was just 8, Verboven was accepted to a top sports boarding school in Antwerp, Belgium.
I had to move to another city, go to a boarding school, study there, sleep there from Sunday night to Friday night. So like I said, I've been used to being away from home and my parents.
While Verboven's family is used to him being away from home for tennis, his parents said it's particularly hard to have him so far away.
You don't take the plane so quickly, and it's quite a distance for us. So yeah, we miss him, especially he didn't come home at Christmas, so to stay with the family. And but now you have FaceTime and so to see each other.
But his brother Maxime said it's gotten a lot easier since Verboven has been at SC for 2 years now.
It was like hard, but now it's like I know I'm gonna see him back after a couple of months. Yeah, so the time will fly.
Verboven's family came just in time for USC's matchup against crosstown rival UCLA on Friday.
It added a little bit of pressure, but in a good way, I feel like, because I just wanted to play very well for them. Like I wanted to play great shots, hit winners out of every corner.
Although the team fell 4-3 to the Bruins, Verboven helped win the doubles point for the Trojans. In singles, he defeated UCLA's Logan Stagg 6-4 in the first set and 6-0 in the second set to secure an early singles point for the team. His parents were extremely proud of his performance, particularly his dad, who is a tennis coach and the reason Verboven got his start in the sport.
Sometimes I shouted some things that could help him, and yeah, I think he succeeded in that.
While they enjoyed their 2-week stay, they will be sad to say goodbye.
We had a good time with him, and yeah, like I said, he's in good hands, and that helps the miss.
Verboven said it will definitely not be easy on him either.
I'm probably not going to go home this summer as well, so I'm probably not going to see them for a very long time right now. Especially my mom, I think, is going to have a really hard time. So I think it's going to be hard on both sides, yeah.
If Verboven stays in Los Angeles for summer, his family hopes to find a way to come back to LA to see him again soon. For Annenberg Media, I'm Julia Adams.
What a great story.
I really hope they get to visit him again. And thanks for tuning into Sports Scene. Please follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Annenberg Media Sports. I'm Olivia Sandusky.
And I'm Sarah McGrew. Tune in next week for the last episode of the semester. We'll see you next time.